Hello, my name is Olga, and this is our channel about BOPA and Via Delivery service. And we have Jeff Masek today, our Chief Operating Officer. Jeff, thanks for coming. And
Thanks for having me.
yeah, and I have a couple of questions for you. So
Sure.
let's start with introducing you to the public. So could you please tell us a little bit about your prior experience? I know you have a lot.
Yeah, no, yeah, maybe too much actually. Yeah, I've been doing supply chain for about 30 plus years. I tell people I break my career up into really three separate segments. Technology early in my career with routing and scheduling systems. Um, Middle part of my career was Big Six Consulting with Deloitte and Touche in doing a lot of things and seeing a lot of things from a supply chain perspective. And I think the largest segment of my career was operations. I was 20 plus years at Bed Bath and Beyond. I was responsible there for the entire supply chain for all the stores, both domestically in the United States and also internationally in both Mexico and Canada. And I had responsibility for fulfillment, all the fulfillment channels for the company, five very large distribution facilities, thousands of associates, and thousands, if not millions, of packages that we ship from those locations each and every year. So it's a fun ride.
Oh, wow. So you know a lot about supply chain and last mile.
Well, interestingly enough, obviously as time went on and the evolution of, not only supply chain but final mile evolved, one of the things that was sort of interesting, and I know we're going to talk about this in a little while, is that Bed Bath and Beyond was one of those alternative delivery locations, for customers. We actually tried it in our stores in Canada, and we tried it in our stores in the Philadelphia market as a segment. And we learned a lot about customers coming in to not only drop off packages for returns, but also to come in and pick up packages as well. So yeah, learned a whole lot of things, and excited to share more about things that we're talking about today, BOPA and otherwise.
So you already saw this trend for buy online, pick up somewhere in store, anywhere.
We did. And when we first engaged with FedEx at the time to do it, I think what we were trying to better understand was what it would do to increase traffic into our stores. And it was actually hard to measure, which was really interesting because one of the things you try to really understand is one, who's bringing packages in, and then two, what are they doing when they get into the stores? And you can't follow them around and interview them on the way out. Hey, what'd you buy? Sort of stuff. So we found out two things. One was we had more people at the time that were coming in to bring us packages for returns than they were for pickup, which again is very interesting to what we're doing here at Via Delivery. And then the second thing was we gave people, we called it it was a coupon that we gave to them when they came in to drop off a package or pick up a package. And the coupon itself was live for a couple of weeks. And so that was the only way that we could try to figure out how to measure whether or not a customer was transacting with us or not. And I don't think it was perfect, but I think it certainly gave us some insight in terms of what the customer was doing, and whether or not they were just walking into the store to drop off a package or pick it up and leave, or actually go shop the store itself.
Okay, so from your perspective, what is BOPA?
So from my perspective, BOPA, as we know it, buy online, pick up anywhere, is the ability to provide the customer with an alternative to their package being delivered to their home. And the alternative is anything, quite frankly, anything, anywhere. And, as you're aware, we've expanded out significantly to not only locations where customers can come in and engage with a retail associate or a FedEx office location to pick up a package. But most recently, obviously, we've now started to engage with the fact that some customers just want to be unassisted. They don't want to have to go and talk to somebody or stand in a line or whatever. And therefore, obviously, we've just recently added lockers into our program as well.
How many locations in total Via Delivery has?
Today, currently about 36,000 locations where you engage with the associate. We call them counter locations. The locker program is just getting off the ground as we speak, so it's less than 50, and it's very concentrated in a specific market. But we think obviously that's going to accelerate and expand and quite frankly explode over time. And there's many that are already out there. This was just a specific test that we wanted to do in a specific market to understand adoption.
Who are Via's clients? Maybe a couple of
Um,
use
so it's funny. Via's clients, it's been kind of a fun ride, right? Over the last 3.5 years, we tested lots of different markets. And we've seen adoption across many markets, right? We've seen general commodities, we've seen health and wellness, we've seen wine being a very good segment for us, we've seen apparel be a good segment for us, we've seen shoes be a good segment for us. So, our clients, if you will, span so many different sort of categories. Some big ones, that have been very popular with us, the Perry Ellis brands. We have all of their brands. It's been a very successful, if you will, relationship with them over the last 2 years. Adams Shoes up in New York City. It's a unique sort of brand of shoe that it's really interesting to sort of see them introduce new shoes and new brands over time and watch obviously when they do introduce a new one, watch obviously the numbers of orders that are being taken, if you will, on our space go up and then obviously settle back in. So that's kind of fun. Wine, a lot of wine categories, from splash wine to wine insiders to Wink. It's all over the place. And I think we owe a lot of credit to that, to the relationship that we have with wineshipping.com, which is the largest, if you will, wine fulfillment company in the United States. They've been a great partner with us. And then I can't leave out Nurigan, which is in the CBD space. They're just another good relationship, another good brand in the health and wellness space. And quite frankly, we've gotten a lot of traction with those guys and their customers.
So basically, signature related items is a big market for us.
Yeah, I would say, as we know, because we measure it together, we see signature is huge, and the convenience of being able to go to one of these locations and not have to wait for the driver to show up with a package. And unfortunately miss them when you thought they were going to be there at 2 o'clock and they show up at 5. Porch piracy is certainly trending, well with us as well. People don't want that package to be left, if you will, and wherever it might be left at their house, and they feel much more comfortable from a security perspective. Cost is still a driver, right? As you well know, all of the accessorial fees, and they continue to be out there and quite frankly increase. All those fees are gone, with this type of service. And when you think about peak season and otherwise, there's no fees related to peak season as well with this particular service. So it varies based on client. Some are like, yeah, I get this, I get the cost savings, but quite frankly, it's the signature piece and the convenience for my customer that they like more. So it really depends on client, and it is across the board.
So I guess my last question, what do you think is the future of supply chain and last mile in the next decade or so?
Well, that's a loaded question. It's interesting. I think it's going to continue to evolve because, what used to be just a couple of big carriers, right? FedEx, UPS, the post office, etc., has now expanded, into a number of different carriers. Few of them that are trying to do the national thing, a number of them that are doing the regional thing, right, where they're servicing regionally. But there's also another interesting segmentation that's occurred, and that is the segmentation around product. So there are bulky carriers, delivering carriers now that are out there specifically. There are folks out there who focus their attention just on ounce-based and lightweight product. Um, I think I think that is going to continue to evolve. over time with segmentation specifically because, many of these carriers, specifically the larger ones, don't want to handle some of the, if you will, the stuff that isn't necessarily built for their networks. I think also too, probably some of the stuff that will continue to evolve over time will probably be stuff like we're doing, right? I think what's ultimately happened here is that, and we have found this out over the last 3.5 years, the adoption rate is extremely high for things like that additional service offering. To remind somebody on a checkout that not only can you have it shipped to your door, but you can have it shipped somewhere else is unique. I think people have thought about it after they've placed the order in the past.
Mhm.
We have presented it now right in front of them, right before they hit the go button. And I think that's making a huge difference and affording, if you will, customers the ability to see that there's other service offerings that are there. And they can think about it when they're placing the order, and they can think about what their schedule is all about over the next, if you will, 7 to 10 days and say, oh, maybe that's a better alternative for me for this particular shipment. And I think that obviously is helping obviously to help us with our adoption, and help enhance the service offerings to the customers.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, yeah, we're in for a good ride, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for your time and for all this information. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, and it's been a pleasure to work with you guys as well.
Yeah, same here. Well, guys, stay tuned for more videos. Bye.
Bye.